see us on the
Okay,
YouTube.
I'm um I'm on YouTube and it says waiting for. So we might be live. Hello everybody. We might not might be Memorex.
Oh my God.
Annalisa's in France. That beautiful, beautiful wild woman is in France.
I made it.
And we're
Yeah.
trying to bridge the universe here. Ah, there we
Mm-hmm.
are. We're
You
on
see
now.
us? Okay,
Yes.
good. Oh
Yes,
yeah,
we
I
are
see
on.
us
We are
now.
live streaming. Hello everyone.
Hi
Hello, hello.
everybody. Sorry that I just am like rife with technical difficulties all the time. But yes, here we are, Dr. A and Dr. A, California and Arles, France. Hello. Woot woot, as Andrea always says. I'm just
Woo-hoo.
gonna give you a little bit of my background here. Yeah, I'm streaming from my hotel. This is a park. That's a retaining wall there. And then we're gonna, I think oh, you can't see it that well. Anyway, the Rhone is right there behind the trees. So that's my view from my hotel room. Um, yeah, I wish I had a better view, but I didn't think that I'd be able to stream well from from the Rhone itself, so I
I know
opted for inside.
we're lucky to have you streaming
Woo!
at all, right? So if there's a little bit of glitchy connection, it's due to the international nature of our show. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we were having issues a minute ago. And we'll hope that that helps. Anyway, God, this has been an incredible journey, as it always is. Um, I always learn something new. This is my third time on this pilgrimage, and um, I always meet incredible people. They met several different people from Brazil, like, and it seemed like there was big South American, I don't know, influx this year, which felt really good. I mean, it's always good, whatever it is, but it's always interesting to kind of see the how the platform on pilgrimage. So yeah,
Yeah,
can you hear me okay?
your video's a little bit choppy, but maybe what you could do is just explain to anybody who just happens to be logging in that doesn't really know much about the show, but at least what you're doing in France, like a little bit about your pilgrimage that you've been leading. Yeah, we're having all these technical difficulties.
So what happens is, oh yeah, I know. Oh, so bummed. I'm so bummed. I was hoping that it would work out, but let me just, and we'll see. Every year, we go to La Saint Baume, which is in the hills of Provence, and it's an area where legend has it that Mary Magdalene basically retired after she landed on the shores of ancient France. She greeted the inhabitants of ancient France and taught the teachings of Christ. And then when she was full in her heart of that, she retired to this cave that's about like a 40-minute hike of this ancient forest, and it's called the Forest of Artemis. Some scholars believe that it's the site of an ancient fertility goddess, so it's really interesting that that's also the site where Mary Magdalene is now said to have lived for the last 30 years of her life in this cave in like complete well, she was a renunciate in the Middle, right? So she just renounced the world. She renounced, food, clothing. Was said to be lifted to heaven 7 times a day to match the liturgical hours. And the angels lifted her up for, I would say, spiritual sustenance, uh, fed her head. And her body sustained. And then after that point, she was done with this life and ascended. But obviously, like as we've discussed before, there's so many mythological elements in pilgrimage, um, death, rebirth, like experiences. Sorry, I see you coming in and out too, so I assume that means I'm going in and out. So that's the case. And we hike the first day. It's always very emotional. Even for me, I've done it 3 times. It's always very emotional to enter that space, um, witness to and be witnessed by Mary Magdalene, the statues there, and her energy is really strong. And then the second day, made a hike all the way up to the top of the mountain, and there's this little her pro um and there's this it's the inside decorated, but there's this really sweet image of Mary Magdalene, surrounded by what looks like stars. So we were in there at night. I almost wonder this little kind of person, stone hut house. Um,
Oh, now I've completely lost you. I think Annalisa was talking
it's
about
pop.
a hermitage that is
Oh,
up on the top of the mountain. So I'm not, Annalisa, at this point, I get audio, but the video cuts in and out. Do you want to kind of reschedule this conversation to next week when we're together and everybody can hear what you have to share? Because I think it's probably
yeah,
frustrating to
we can
anyone
do.
who's listening.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Let's I think yeah, we'll put a pin in it. We'll re-record it when you and I are maybe there because we're gonna be together. But there's some you want see if there's anything going on your end that's worth talking about, sharing. Any classes? You have enough uh course
Yeah,
any
I have a course starting June 1st that's called the Menopause Map, and basically it's for women who are going through midlife and menopause and are looking for ways to find a way forward to look at all of the different physical and psychological shifts that happen to women during that time. And during the 8-week class, we cover the 7 realms of change that all women will go through during that midlife period from about 45 to 65. And that's a time when a lot of us ask, who are we now? What now? What about me? And there can be a lot of changes in women's lives at that time. So that's called the Menopause Map. You can find that on my website, and my information is generally in the show notes, either for this show or previous shows. You can find my website there. So, yeah, I have that coming up. I'm doing a in-person retreat at the end of June. That's a private offering for my subscribers or membership program, because there's only 6 spots available for a very small, intimate in-person workshop, weekend workshop. So people can send me an email if they're interested in that. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to having you come back and hear more in detail about all of your adventures, and then we can maybe pre-record a or what do they call it when they do a in the military when you come back from a mission, it's a debrief. We can do a debrief with you on your trip
oh
and
yeah.
all the
Yes.
great things that happened and that you experienced. And I did follow some of your posts on Instagram, and I'm so happy that the Saint Sarah festival was all that you hoped it would be again this year. And I hope you kissed a couple Romani men for me. And and we'll talk more when you're home. And,
Maybe a Frenchman or two, but not
yeah, and maybe a
not
Frenchman.
Romani
Well,
this year.
whatever handsome Europeans, you wanted to like kiss their cheek and say Dr. A thinks of you. All right, so I'll be seeing you later this week when you're back in the States, and we'll
We'll reschedule this episode,
yeah.
everybody. Sorry about that.
It's all
Yeah.
right. You know what? We tried to do it, and just sometimes the World Wide Web is so clogged with other things going on that it's hard to get a good connection.
Yeah, exactly. They're having some kind of crazy heat wave here in France too, so maybe that has something to do with it. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah, it
Yeah.
might. But anyway,
Yeah.
blessings to you and everyone there, and safe travels on your way home.
Yeah, and we'll see you next week. We're going to have Karen of the Divine Feminine app and Annie Finch, the poet. We're going to be talking about goddess circles and women's circles and some. I we went through a few different topics we were going to discuss, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the topic du jour next Wednesday. So join us for that. They're both funny, really interesting women, and I'm sure there will be a lot of laughs next week.
That's crazy. Now your connection's perfect, but who knows, right?
Yeah, it's probably just going to keep going in
Yeah,
and out.
yeah.
So yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, have
All
a great
right.
day.
Thank you, you too. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye
Signing off
bye.
from